Ladies and gentlemen, this is huge news. I know that you've a lot of people, and God bless you. I get it. I understand. Oh, here we go. It's never going to happen. The Democratic Party is omnipotent. There's a rule of law for conservatives, independents, Trump supporters, everyone else. But if you're associated with Clinton or Comey or Strzok, McCabe, whatever, well, McCabe's getting indicted imminently. That's going to happen. But I understand the mentality. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not sustainable. So you have to understand it's not sustainable. You cannot be that corrupt all the time and be sloppy about it. Now, Comey still risks indictments. If not immediately, definitely when this is all said and done. He did too many things. He's poking the bear, poking. He's doing too many things that he's flaunting his criminality. You cannot, and we know this right now from Devin Nunes. Just listen. If you don't believe me, listen to Devin Nunes. You'll listen to him in a second. What he did was he actually interrogated President Trump without President Trump, or this was President-elect Trump. That moment in time when President Obama was there, I believe Susan Rice was there. She might not have been, but President Obama, James Comey, and President-elect Trump were in the White House, and Comey decides to give Trump the Steele dossier and says, "Well, we're giving you this." And then James Baker on CNN was like, "Oh yeah, it was above board." No, he's under criminal investigation now. But James Comey gave Trump a dossier purchased by Clinton, and then pretended not to know it was purchased by Clinton. And then gave the dossier to Trump and said, "Look, we're looking into these allegations, complete and utter nonsense." But what he was doing wasn't simply informing Trump that there was something that they were investigating. He was actively trying to get President Trump to say something, do something incriminating. He was actually investigating Trump, and that's the interesting thing. So, whereas he stated he was not investigating Trump, he actually was. And that is a criminal act when you have a president-elect that did nothing wrong. If you are setting up and framing somebody, and you're a law enforcement official that is just there to take somebody down, this is a big problem. But here's President Trump. Here's Devin Nunes talking about exactly what Comey did.
And that's right, I'll just repeat again, Sandra. Comey always pretended that he wasn't part of that. But in fact, he signed those.
So he signed the FISA warrants, which is a big issue. Now, the IG report's coming out, but also, check this out.
And if you look at now that he was actually being used to run in and actually brief the president, but really what he was doing, he was actually interrogating the president, and then using that information and feeding it right back into the Crossfire Hurricane team.
So he wasn't briefing the president. He wasn't briefing President Trump. So Devin Nunes says James Comey could still face charges. He wasn't briefing President Trump. He wasn't trying to just think of Trump's, just trying to, inform the president-elect that, hey, there's something going on. We don't know what's really taking place, but here, we just want to let you know what's happening, since we really care about what you think. What really took place was they were setting up and framing Trump and trying to interrogate him without him even knowing what was taking place. This is not only completely different from what happened with Hillary Clinton, but you're talking about two different standards of justice. One for Trump, one for Clinton. Clinton's running again. She's running again. In October, there's a $50,000 a plate fundraiser. It ain't for Beto O'Rourke and it ain't for Biden. So when people say, she can't run, all she'll do is enter the race somehow. It'll be like put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Why aren't I 50 points ahead, you might ask? And then she'll be like, oh my God, Botox B has a sore shoulder? Okay. If you really want me in, coach, I guess I'll have to. It's like, no, this whole thing, there is no Democratic Party. The whole thing was for the golden muumuu to levitate once again. I keep saying that. But why do you think Comey did this? Comey was the ringleader in all of this. He was the number one, he was the top guy in charge. He leaked memos. He leaked memos that he fabricated because we have no clue if these, it's like, when was the last time you started an investigation and a special counsel based on a Steele dossier purchased by Clinton with allegedly help from Russian sources? One Russian intelligence officer helped Christopher Steele compile the allegations. And memos written by a disgruntled former FBI director after he was forced out by the president. So when's the last time that took place? This is unprecedented. Everything is unprecedented. And the issue here is that John Durham knows. So why am I really happy about all of this, even though it's like, oh my God, here we go again. It's never going to happen. John Durham is looking at the 18371 statute. This is the legal statute that I talk about in my Federalist article below in the pinned comment. This is the legal statute, ladies and gentlemen. So it is happening. It's going to go down. And look, it seems like there's never going to be justice. The problem is, for Democrats and media, things are slowly changing. The IG report laid the foundation for John Durham. Andrew McCabe, once he gets indicted, that'll set the ball rolling. And you'll see the moment you see something take place, and we've already seen William Barr go to bat for President Trump numerous times, especially with the Mueller report. He actually didn't do anything above and beyond. The Mueller report is what it is. People say, oh, well, there's documented incidents of possible obstruction. There's no such thing as possible obstruction. Mueller could have stated, look, Trump did this and we weren't able to obtain this piece of information. He didn't say that. There was nothing that they wanted. If possibly thinking of firing Mueller was a problem, then what do you call giving servers completely deleted, wiped of data to the FBI? That's textbook obstruction. What do you call, having Loretta Lynch call the investigation a matter, and then Comey calling it a matter, or Hillary Clinton calling it a security review, and her campaign calling it a security review? By the standard by which they judge President Trump is not the standard by which they judge Clinton. That's obvious. But this is really interesting because the IG report's coming out. Comey has his name on the FISA warrants. And, ladies and gentlemen, you have a situation where, let's listen to it again. Now, John Durham knows this is important for John Durham. Let's listen to it again and we'll explain.
In this country that are designed to go after foreigners, go after bad guys. How does that system get turned around to target an American political campaign for president, nonetheless? So those are the types of questions that Durham, the U.S. Attorney in Connecticut, needs to answer. From that, the evidence that we've gathered over our 2.5-year investigation, we've made specific criminal referrals, specifically on conspiracy to fraud the FISA court. Now, and that's right, I'll just repeat again, Sandra, the Comey always pretended that he wasn't part of that.
So the statute he's talking about is the 18371 statute. That's the statute I talk about in my Federalist article. That's the statute that they're working. It's an endeavor to defraud the United States government and the people of the United States by utilizing the government in a manner it's not supposed to be utilized. Okay, candidate Trump was never supposed to be the subject of any or target or whatever of any investigation. That's not what the FISA court was supposed to be about. He didn't commit there was no evidence at all that he committed any kind of overarching endeavor to conspire against the United States by working with Russia to inform the country to hack the DNC to inform the country that Bernie Sanders was cheated. It never happened. Thus giving Clinton the popular vote. That never happened. It never, ever, ever happened. And the ODNI and DHS reports, even prior to the Mueller probe, come with warranty disclaimers. The intelligence reports actually come with warranty disclaimers where the intelligence agencies, 3 of them, headed by very corrupt officials, well, at least 2 of them headed by corrupt officials, Brennan and Comey, stated, this is a high confidence assessment, and high confidence, and a judgment of high confidence might be wrong. So even before the special counsel, there was no evidence. There was no evidence at all of Trump doing anything. And there was no reason for Comey to go after Trump. It's so transparent. There's no question here what's taking place. This is completely and utterly transparent. And the notion that all of this was above board, you have to believe, if you think this is above board, you're a CNN or MSNBC pundit that always thinks Trump is capable of anything. But that's not the standard by which you begin any investigation. There has to be a criminal act taking place. If they wanted to investigate the hack of the DNC, they should have just focused on that and that alone. And they're not even certain that Russia hacked the DNC because the like I said, the ODNI and DHS reports come with warranty disclaimers. There's no guarantees given. There's no guarantees given, and there's no statement of certainty. James Clapper with Chuck Todd, and I wrote about this also in the Federalist. James Clapper stated, "We had no evidence that of any Trump-Russia, endeavor. We had no evidence Trump worked with Russia. There's no evidence of collusion." That was a narrative that was talked about by Peter Strzok, called an insurance policy. If the tables were turned, they would never allow a Steele dossier to be purchased by Trump, or a Clinton dossier, let's say, that said the Golden Mumu enjoys showers of a certain type of bodily fluid. Enjoy the visual. So when I say this is really important and this is an interesting thing, and it's something that you shouldn't look, don't disregard all the information coming out. It's public record. John Durham knows the public record, and he knows the declassified information that Lindsey Graham wants, which I talked about on my last segment. I get it. I understand. And by the way, check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. I'll be doing yet another segment. I'm going to try to do 3 segments a day on that channel. Let's get it to 10,000 subs. Let's grow that channel. And I talk about things I just don't want to talk about, or just don't have time to talk about on this channel. And I'm more myself to an extent, or at least more unfiltered, I should say. So that's the H.A. Badman channel. But ladies and gentlemen, it's really interesting because at a certain point, look, Devin Nunes is talking about this. Lindsey Graham is talking about this every day. You have John Durham. You have William Barr. You have President Trump, who said this can never happen again. You have obvious corruption. Now, James Comey not being indicted, that's not that big of a deal at this point. It's not that big of a deal at this point. He fabricated and made up a whole bunch of allegations in memos that were just diary entries. What he could have been charged under is storing classified information in a safe. For whatever reason, they didn't want to go ahead and do that, because then they would have had to have Trump testify, or at least Trump would be a part of it, because he was there speaking to Comey, and who knows what was true and what was false in the Comey memos. Certainly, it wasn't obstruction to say lay off Flynn, because Flynn did nothing wrong. He never committed a crime. Michael Flynn never committed a crime ever. Ever. And then lying to an FBI agent when you have corrupt FBI officials. So the notion that he lied to Peter Strzok when Peter Strzok literally said we'll stop Trump, that's absurd. That is absurd. But give me your thoughts below. This is a big deal. And this is actually really, really important. I'm going to do live streams later on this week, and starting next week, I'll do them more regularly. And ladies and gentlemen, check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. Also, definitely check out Randy Quaid. He's awesome. He's in the Christmas Vacation movies and Kingpin and Independence Day. I mean, all these amazing, Amazing movie, hilarious comedic legend. He's awesome. He is not only a Trump supporter, but he's going up against a very corrupt Hollywood establishment. And I just talk about Randy Quaid, and I just realized, or actually, a couple of my amazing subscribers on H.A. Goodman's other channel, so check that out below, told me, H.A., he's reading Trump's tweets. So I was like, how come it's only like 46? He has a YouTube channel also. And you can check that out on my other segment. I mean, I'm on H.A. Goodman's other channel. But he has a YouTube channel, and subscribe to that YouTube channel. Follow him on Twitter. Give him support, moral support, because he's awesome. He's awesome. And he's just going up against a very corrupt Hollywood establishment against Trump. So he's hilarious and awesome. This is only the second inning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 9-inning ball game. We have a whole year and a half. People. Andrew McCabe's going to get indicted any day now. Every day I'm checking. Is he indicted yet? So, I mean, his attorneys went ahead, last-second effort to prevent an indictment. He lied under oath with intent to deceive. It's pretty clear-cut. So it's not like Comey, where Comey's like, it's my memos. This is clear-cut. You cannot do this. And from that clear-cut violation of the law, then you get the dominoes falling and the whole corrupt edifice falls down. Give me your thoughts below. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right now. It's below in the pinned comment. Just look down. You'll see the pinned comment. Thank you so much. If you want to support my voice long-term, my Patreon is below. Thank you.